Welcome back, boys and girls, once again to the Combine. Maple Arrow, Ice HD, Rawlins, Tactimus Prime, Vastracal, Freedom Fighter, General Roll, Is Jonah, What 7 Tins. On your screen, what a surprise, we see most of these names already today.
Woo! Alright, so right off the bat, no multi-pots, yay. Wards, yay. Geb might get picked.
Yeah, Geb's in a bad spot. Stackimus Prime is probably going to get picked.
He should have probably leveled his rollout and started moving really fast.
Yeah, there he goes. He'll be fine. The second he saw that rotation, he should have got the rollout. Athena wasn't in ranged for taunt. So good job on him for getting out of there.
Nothing really to talk about yet. Wait to see what they do as the
Freya
buffs come out.
jungle. We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, Freya's kind of fallen out of the meta.
She's incredibly strong, but she's very easy to pick and fight early. And because of these double hog starts, and not only double hog, but just aggressive early invades, she has a lot of trouble until she can get Boots Fatalis online typically. Just because she has very nice base numbers on her combo, but she's also a mage, so she's incredibly squishy.
Right. It'd make more sense for the Freya to be picked up in this composition if she had a strong hunter, because she's got a strong mid laner, she's got a strong solo laner. If she had a strong hunter to go with that Geb, then she could just farm until the later stages of the game and look for the late game. But Cupid, bit of a risk.
Yeah, I agree. So right away we're going to see very standard starts. Nothing crazy happening, no invades. I'm a little surprised they didn't invade the Freya.
I like the Freya call. Freya actually did a red buff while they did mid camp, so this is like the old sort of style we started to see. They've got double hog, so why not abuse it? So many people have forgotten that double hog is used in that situation to get red and blue nice and quick and not lose anything in lane. So abusing that means that they can't lose the red buff. It's not going to waste her time getting the red buff later on in this game, and it means that she can keep the pressure on early and rotate with Nemesis.
The only thing I think I would have liked to see there instead is I think I would have really liked to see the Geb Cupid goes speed too, so they get all their buffs on cooldown that early. That's a huge XP lead as a team, I think. But it is nice. I think grabbing the red was the right call. She's not going to get very good use out of speed early on.
Agni's going to be a little bit careful in this mid lane. He started with decent sustain in this. He picked up 2 health potions, already popped 1 though. He took a little bit too much poke in this early game from Vastracal. He should respect it a little bit more. Just going to play this lane safe for the early part and then wait till he hits level 5 and he'll be fine in this lane. But early on he's taking free poke, which he needs to be very, very careful of doing again.
Yeah, and I mean that's just
the
power of Nox that we've talked about. Every time we see her, like, she's always controlling the lane unless it's against really like a Raw who can out sustain her. And just look at that. He's already half life and he has to pop his second potion. Exactly like you said. I don't like this decision by Freya to go to back harpies instead of splitting a mid wave.
Yeah, I mean, they both stayed a very long time in that right-hand lane. Those 2 junglers. So this is a very slow rotation from both of them. They don't need to go mid now because they're both already going to be hitting level 5 by just doing their own jungle, because they stuck around so damn long in that solo lane, which was the old strategy of stay there till 1 minute 30 until one of them leaves. But now it's the other way around. Good double tug coming out from Athena. She did miss one earlier though. Status Prime going to help a little bit of damage, but it'd be fine to just roll out and walk away. Just keep it on these mid laners now because they should both be hitting 5 about the same sort of time. I like the decision from Nemesis to come mid because he wants to give that red over sooner rather than later to Agni. So push it out with him.
He's also really low. He needs to be careful.
This Nox could kill him right here.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be staying.
If that silence was hit, he was dead, 100%.
Yeah. That hit was certainly dead. He needs to get red and back right now. Nemesis should hold mid, ready for mid harpy spawning, and then see what Freya's going to do, because she's 5 now, and she doesn't need to go back to base by the looks of it. She could go for boots if she chose. Maybe she'll look for
invade.
a pick.
And if Nox didn't back, I think invading that red would have been the smart call. At least a little bit. You don't want to put yourself in too much of a bad position, especially since your dual lane isn't pushed up too far. Like, they don't really have a
I think Agni got greedy.
Yeah.
Agni just got greedy in that mid lane. That's going to cost him a mid harpies. But at the same time, Freya's going aggressive on this side. Big taunt from Athena. That might actually save this life for the Apollo, which it does. The thing about the Agni backing, which I was going to mention, is the fact that now he's very, very late for these mid harpies.
I want to see them fight this. I think with Athena, is she 5 yet? She's 5. I think they should have fought that. I think the Freya Geb were out of position rotating to that, and if they had the Agni Nemesis, like, because they were rotating to that side as well, I think that's a misplay there. I think red team should have took that fight, and I think they would have won up pretty cleanly too.
Yeah, I really didn't like the back of both mid laners there. The Nox backed and was on time for mid camps, but it's not about being there when they spawn. It's about being there before they spawn, and you really want to set up for them and make sure your team has a proper positioning and isn't playing defensive when you get them.
So 4 minutes in right now, there's nothing too much to write home about at the moment. No really early invades. I mean, this looks like it's going to be one of those games that goes late game for sure, because you've got a Freya on the team, you've got an Osiris and Hercules, and won't get involved until later. Athena's doing a good job of double taunting, but that's all I can really see coming out of the duo lane right about now. There's nothing more than that. And Nox versus Agony, well, it looks like it's going in Nox's favour. Agony's taking a bit too much poke for free, but return damage there, which is
I
nice.
don't like the Nox hasn't got Shadow Barrier. Like we've talked about it many times, where, you know, the combustion and the ticking, or the passive and combustion from Agni are very good counters to it. But if you play it right, you can still time and immune at least one of his bombs pretty often. And I'm surprised she hasn't got that to at least do that a little bit. I think she's taken a little bit too much poke.
Possibly lack of respect in the lane.
That's true.
She's gone well in the early game, you know. If it goes well in the early game, sometimes you think, oh, I'll just level damage because I'm not having an issue.
For sure. It's true.
But then, you know, Agni's early game is totally different to when he's hit level 5 and he's got those bombs online and all charged. So,
he becomes worlds better. Once he hits 5, he's just infinitely better. Especially since it's on such a low cooldown, 20 seconds. It's a very unique ult, and it's incredibly good at poking out enemy mages who don't have anything to basically get away from it.
Unusually, you see both these both the junglers go back to the solo lane and just chill there like they did for that extra wave of experience. Normally they don't stick around that side of the map very often just because go through is always a threat. But right now, I mean, Coach seems a little slack as well for the first 5 minutes of the game. Yeah,
it's a very slow-paced game. Neither team looks like they want to force a fight.
Nox is not respecting this Agni at all, and now he can't help his Freya with the fight on the Nemesis. And Agni's going to be able to.
Nox is probably going to have to back. Yeah, miss an entire wave. I think having now she has Shadow Barrier. I think that should have been earlier. I think she could have survived a lot more of the poke that she received. She was standing in her wave and taking every Agni bomb and allowing Agni to hit both.
Freya should have noticed that. Yeah. Freya should have noticed that wave and taken it. She didn't until it's too late. Now she's getting pinged to go back and do it.
I'll be interested to see how mid camps go. I think this will be an important. I think we'll see red team force a fight. I'd like to see red team force a fight. How many bombs does Agni have right now? He has 3, so he should be in position to fight here very shortly. Although he backed a little late for these mid harpies.
The rollout used preemptively to Geb there. I'm not so sure about that if you really needed to. But it's okay, they're going to get the left ones. The red team disengage from it.
Apollo should get out.
Cupid.
Yeah. Apollo just barely got out.
Again. That's the only thing I've mentioned about this game so far is the taunts. Yeah, the taunts has been it.
Oh,
Nemesis. Nice driving strike though from Herc.
Great rotation by the Hercules. Fantastic rotation to pick up the Nemesis. They're kind of in a bad spot here. I'd like to see Osiris go in. Yeah, I like this call for him to go in, but I think they waited too long to go in, and now they put themselves in a bad spot, and Nox is going to get a kill. Great ult by Geb. Yeah. I like the call to go in, but I think they made it they took way too long to decide it.
I'm going to call this was a snowball game right now after that engagement. I think it was a very, very evenly stacked, but I think blue team's going to snowball off this one already.
Yeah, we do have one of the scouts actually from this game going to be joining us. Dirgius, welcome back once again. We just saw it was a very slow-paced early game, and then it seemed to be blue really turned it on at these mid-harpies.
If I remember this game correctly, it's like slow pace, slow pace, slow pace, and then one of the team explodes and gets fire giant at like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Even through the mid game, it's pretty slow.
Snowballs from there. For me, the players that I thought were pretty good, Vashtikal this game pretty much does really well in mid lane, like mechanically, and I need to mute the stream because it's echoing. And I don't remember too much about this game. It's just one of those games where like, everybody did decently, so it's really hard to like judge individually.
Okay.
I know that there was some good taunts because you keep talking about taunts, and I agree. I remember them. But yeah, it's just one of those games. It's really hard to judge because I couldn't I went into the lobby after the game and was like, okay, you guys all played well. I can't really fault any of you, and I can't like highly praise any of you either. It's just one of those games.
On the communication side of things, though, did you get to listen to any of the teams?
I listened to the draft comms for this game, and then WizKid did most of the other comms this thing, because that's kind of how we split it up. And the draft comms are really good, because they were like discussing like 2 free picks down the line. And if you're like communicating drafts, you always want to be discussing like 2 free picks down the line, just so your team can figure out what kind of general comp they want to go for. And that was really good.
So you mentioned Nox. Is there anybody, like, if you had to pick 2 other people other than Nox, the Vastrical, and one from each team?
I really liked the Geb. I had a conversation with the Geb after the game, and he did pretty well. There was a lot of times where he would like overkill a little bit, like shield when he didn't need to, or ult something that he really didn't need to ult. But like he was reasonably solid throughout the game.
I will say Stackimus Prime.
I liked watching him.
I will say we've seen him pretty often last weekend and this week. He's definitely looking. He's trying to get as many games as he can. He's subbing for a lot of teams, and not that many people are really playing support at a high level. And I don't think I ever really have anything like bad to say about Stackimus Prime. I think he does need work.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him like he's been an amazing standout, but I think he's always doing his job, and I'd like to see if he can develop.
That's pretty much my take on him as well. And then as for one more guy, I don't know. It's hard
If
to
there's no one
say.
else, that's fine.
Yeah. Like the Herc made some pretty nice like pull plays. Like there was a play like I think after the first bid caps where he like driving strikes Nemesis into 4 people.
Yeah,
and
we just saw that one.
And that was pretty sweet.
That was really nice. Well, guys, there's obviously, like you said, there was a lot of people involved in this one who didn't seem to make many mistakes. Maybe you should look for them. If you're looking for players to be picked up, guys, we'll be right back with another one. We're coming to the end of the Combine, so we should be bringing you 1 or 2 more. We'll see how it goes. Back shortly. Welcome back once again. We're going to see some more Combine action. Submarine Slime, Mr. Stefan, Antivist, Din, Noel Boots, Basket Boy, Lunch Truck, Point Blank, Fresh Times, Argonath, and Sensei on your screens for this Combine game.
You know, look at they want to pick somebody here. That's why they're in the lane. I don't know. Oh no,
They're
there's
trying
gonna be
to
a fight.
safe ward. I think they recognize they know the other team doesn't know. They're just they need to back. Tier spotted him out, but it doesn't look like he called.
I don't think he did.
How did he not see them?
He didn't see him.
There's no reason for him not to. He walked right by. If he had moved his camera, if he had used that third person and turned his camera view, he would have saw them.
I don't think
Wait,
anybody came from that position.
roll it back and let's go into his first person view and you can see where he's looking.
I mean, we can see.
I think he could have seen him. I just don't think they wouldn't have got a pick there. They couldn't have got a pick. It was too.
Athena
wide
on
open.
her versus a tier. I mean,
Athena on her versus a tier, but there's a Scylla.
He
saw
saw
them.
them. He did. He saw them. Wow.
The team was just too busy trying to catch someone else elsewhere. It seems really strange. Is Sylvanus going to ward now? Or, like, he waited a long time for this ward.
There it is.
Yeah.
He spent a little bit too long. He can't back now. He has 2 wards and 3 mana though. I think he didn't plan on
he's
backing.
fine.
He didn't plan on backing.
Sylvanus is one of the only ones that can get away with just like 3 mana and just like, well, I've got wisps, so it's all good. So he's not too worried.
Yeah, and there goes the second ward. So right away we actually see a tier, our first tier solo. I think the first tier of today. Did we see one yesterday?
Yeah, good to see him back. Hopefully we'll see more of him because Tier's actually really strong right now. He's taken a long time for people to realize the power cleave is very strong for the sustain. Now that they gave him the extra double heal off the first thing he hits. So
here's the Osiris.
It's really, really strong for him.
Coming in, forcing. He's
the-
gonna try and force the hog. And he
Oh yeah, she went for the hog.
he got it. They just let him walk up, and they wasted
And
one
they
of their
wasted
hogs.
their hog. Yep.
That was
Yep.
questionable. When they saw him, they should have just hogged. There's no need to wait. They're not gonna get their blue invaded though. They still have. Does Tier have hog? Yeah, Tier has hog.
Yeah,
so,
Tier's got a hog as well, so it's fine.
he got away with that, but I'm really not a fan of using double hog against double hog and then not invading. I mean, obviously he got away with it there, which is fine, but I don't know.
Is he not going to pick up the blue? Oh, he's going to wait on the blue? Is he not picking up the blue?
I don't think he realized it dropped. I don't think he realizes that it's not on him.
He will instantly lose this lane if he does not grab that blue.
Yeah,
For sure.
he recognizes it now. I think he's heading back to it.
Unless that was a plan to push the wave, then go get blue. Like, that's the only way I can think of it. It's like, yeah, I'll wait one wave and then do it. But he gives up lane pressure, which
yeah.
doesn't make much sense to me. So
I don't like that decision either.
strange, but we'll see how it continues on.
So,
Sylvanus and Apollo up against Anher versus Athena. Kind of standard. You're going to see Sylvanus push that one in.
Yep.
And
I
early
like
rotation
on
from
her
Thor.
Athena to be at least okay. I like Thor rotating. He needs to go now so he
Giannis
doesn't miss the
doesn't
wave.
know.
Yep.
This is lack of respect from Giannis here. Good news is, though, that Thor didn't want to go aggressive. He just wanted to farm it. So
Yeah.
could have probably punished that Giannis a little bit harder
Going
than he
straight
did.
to red too. So he's not going to look for the invade, just going the safe route. I mean, his dual lane isn't in position to rotate while theirs is. This Honor's being very aggressive. So when you are aggressive against a Sylvanus, you want to make sure you can poke him out and not take too much damage back. That's the most critical part, because otherwise you're just going to take poke and he's going to heal his back.
Completely agree. The one benefit of this is that if you do go aggressive, you should be looking for Sylvanas in this lane just because he's got mana potions. So poke out that wisp damage before it goes off, you know, before he manages to regen him, then he's in a really bad spot again. Has to wait for his wisp cooldown, which is, you know, 18 seconds. It's not a short cooldown by any stretch of the imagination.
Right, definitely. And then he's going to be using those at awkward times during the laning phase, so it's not as big of a threat. Like right there, you saw him use his wisps just to clear the minions instead of now using it on the full minion wave and granting protections and healing his own.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big key to Sylvanas. Make sure you hit as much as possible.
Right.
And I like Athena's aggression here, just charging through, zoning them out, looking for the taunt if they group up.
Yeah, now they're even trying to zone here. I don't know how successful they'll be. They actually baited Sylvanas back in there, and he's taking a ton of poke. They're going hard for this.
I don't know if I
He has
agree.
ult. Oh, but the Thor came again. Thor hit 5. That was perfect. Very well executed.
Just barely missed a stun. Nemesis is here, but
she
she's only level
she's only level 3.
Yeah. I don't know how she's so far behind at 3 minutes. And she's also going for this. And if she hogs this, she won't have it for mid camps. And if she's planning to hog it, she needs to hog it now.
Can we just rewind and follow Nemesis back for a few? Because this is really weird. I know it's really early in the game, but that's just odd for her to be so far behind so quickly.
So she's level 2 here. I think she just let me see her rotation out of this solo. I'm just gonna so she's.
It's an early rotation because she follows Thor.
She rotates here when there's a wave. She missed a free wave,
Just
whereas Thor got the wave in mid. So that was just, and also she missed the wave here in mid. Does she do it at least? Yeah, okay, she gets this at least. And then she goes to red.
Then it should be red.
And then back harpies.
Yeah, but how is she still level 3?
Or at least mid.
How's she still level 3 now?
Because she went from there to speed, and then didn't do speed.
Because of the gank.
Yeah.
Alright, she was coming over for the help on
She
the
was.
gank.
It was honestly. It was that lane.
Okay.
It was that early lane that she left.
Yeah.
Mistimed it. Like, Thor rotated because he had lane pressure, and you just need to call it out and then back off.
And now she's not going to be there for mid camps either, so she's going to fall really far behind.
Yep.
Mid's going to be behind as well because they
Red
get
team
harpies there as well.
Yeah, red team got first blood and first 2 mid harpies. That was a very poor decision by Scylla.
Yeah.
She's gonna
fall in Scylla then.
I think they might have been able to commit. No, I guess not. They didn't have Nemo. If they had Nemo up there, she would have died, I think.
Matchup in the solo lane is going to be interesting. Tyr versus Osiris.
I
feel like Tyr has the advantage.
I don't like what
he's gonna play right.
they both just backed in clear view of the Scylla. Now they know that 2 people where they are, and they won't be able to put out any pressure for the next, 20 seconds.
Yep, and Giannis also backed right when the wave was meeting, so he's gonna. He may not lose many creeps, but he's definitely gonna lose the gold. It looks like he's gonna lose 1 creep of XP, and three gold creeps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small amount, but that adds up if you're constantly missing a few waves. Like, you'll be... That right there was, 30, 40, 50 gold.
And Tyr got forced to do the same thing in solo, so... It's definitely starting to add up for the red team here.
Yeah, and he also just power cleaved back to lane.
For 5 minutes in, having a 2.5k experience lead is that's really, really big for the red team.
Especially considering there's only 1 kill on the board. I mean, they grabbed both mid harpies. They're 1,500 up off of first blood, 2 mid harpies, and just general out farming.
Just waiting patiently for something to next happen, really, because it's not a slow game. I don't feel like people are actually doing the right thing. It just, can we speed up a little bit, like fast forward to a few like double time, just so we can catch more action quicker.
It looks like both teams are just trying to focus on farming. I'd like to see this Thor be aggressive with the Scylla. I think they have an incredibly strong combo. Yeah, this is miscommunication.
Oh, he can make up for it, though. He could make up for it.
He aegis early. So he's going to die there, but that could have been much cleaner by red team. I like him going aggressive on there. I would have rather seen him ult in, just so the Giannis didn't know it was coming. Because the Giannis easily could have ulted. There was many times there where he could have ulted and got away. And that was a misplay by Giannis. That was also a misplay by red team to miscommunicate the Athena ult. And that could be either one.
Good pull.
So we'll make sure to get someone in.
Yep,
Talk about that.
Sylvanas played that really, really well.
I happen to miss it. We'll watch that over again real quick.
Devalis played it well, but Scylla, Scylla had the Sentinel up available. But he did a full combo absolutely perfectly.
Okay.
He didn't mistime any of it and kept it right on point when he wanted to.
So pretty good mechanics coming out from the Sylvanas. Sylvanas, like that,
For sure.
Without the root setup, I mean, Nature's Grasp is really hard to hit. And red team's going to grab both mid-harpies again.
Yep.
They're just letting them walk all over them. It's a 2K lead.
Red team's in good control.
And not much has happened. Yeah. I'd like to see more from the Thor Scylla early, especially now that they have this early pressure. I'd like to see them invade this speed buff coming up. But it does seem like it's a little bit of a slower early game. We do have...
Thor's going up.
Oh.
Tiz could be in trouble for the first time.
Oh, this tier is probably dead. He's going to ult into tower.
Timing.
Did he take... I think he took a shower shot there.
He had no mana.
Shot.
Yeah, but he had
Shower
no mana as well.
Can you explain a shower shot to me a little bit?
It's a shot in the shower. Don't question it. But we have Bagel 500 here, the coach for these teams.
Oh
Bagel,
my god, I'm back again.
You're back again. Once we have a very, very slow early game. It looks like just a couple picks coming out for the red team, Team Zeus. How do you feel like these teams did?
How far are you guys in?
We're 7 minutes. We just saw Sylvanas get picked really hard, rotating back in with a great Athena combo.
Okay.
With Honor.
Yeah, I think both teams played really well. It was Team Nuwa just destroyed early game, and then Team Zeus brought it back late game.
Oh, I have the teams backwards. That means.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Come on, Bagel.
Red team with Thor,
I'm sorry,
Athena,
I'm sorry.
we're winning early, correct?
Red team with Thor and Athena.
Yeah. and they did, exactly what I was talking about. They invaded the speed. I love that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Thor also stole it. So they're doing a fantastic job of keeping up their pressure. But you said blue team brings it back late game, right? What do they do, and who's that off the back of?
Pretty much everybody, honestly. It's actually really surprising to see. Pretty much what happens is lack of shot calling and picks, and they just bring it back very, very slowly.
So red team
That's
didn't
full
have
pressure.
too good of communication?
They did have really good communication, but they had no primary shot caller.
Okay. So
They
misplays
were
coming.
sharing the workload a bit too much, then,
Yeah.
basically, was the issue. Okay. Oh, we do see kill for Tyr in that lane as well. How did the Tyr play? Because obviously it's one of the first times we've seen Tyr in this tournament.
I think he overextended quite a few times, but he had like fantastic control in team fights.
Okay. If you were to pick one player from each team that, if you don't have to pick two, it could be less than two, but if there was one player from each team that you would pick up for a team right now, who would you be looking at?
On her fresh times played like so well
Okay.
all game. And on the other team, I'm not sure. They all played pretty well. The tier played well, I think.
Just
he needs to
positioning
work
wise.
on his overextension, yeah.
Do you feel like he was very map aware? Was that his problem, or was it something else? Just
He was just a little bit too aggressive.
okay.
Not really paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah, not very map aware. Okay. I think that's gonna do it though. Hinduman, do you have any final thoughts for this game and the EU Combine?
No, I mean, with what we're going to be done for the Combine, I mean, overall with this game, I think exactly what Bagel said, if that's the way it went, it looks kind of slow, so we'll rely on the scouts for that. But that is the end of the Combine, boys and girls, for the EU side of things, and it was yesterday. And then, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all the players that came out, the people who watched, to all the scouts and admins, as well as the coaches that all got involved for it. There will be reports for both the North American and EU Combine Round 2 coming up in the next future days. And that's it from me. Adonis, Peckies, any last words, boys?
I love you all.
I love you all. Hindu, I love you.
I love me too.
No, honestly though, really impressed by a lot of the players coming out both weekends, not even just this weekend. A lot of strong individual play, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of these people maybe in the Challenger Cup.
Especially that, 2 games ago that we casted, it was Team Hell versus another team, where all the players played fantastically. Like, there was second week in a row, I'm surprised at some of the players we've seen that I think are, if not SPL level, at least top tier Challenger level, that are names I haven't seen before.
For sure. If any of the players that did play in this are still watching, they want to have individual feedback from me, I will go through your game individually if that's something you would like in the future. I do it already, or normally on my own channel anyway. So just come and ask, and I'll do that for you. And I might even look at shoutcasting that whole freaking crazy game that we just
that was
casted
really good.
Did a few years ago, because that actually looks like one worthy of casting. So we'll see.
Awesome. Thank you, Hindu Man, for joining us once again. For me, Peckies, and ourselves for production. Thanks to hi-rez, Adam, and Dan also for doing adminship. They weren't very happy. I don't think we shouted them out yesterday, so we gotta.
Yeah, we actually did.
We did?
Yeah.
I think they were just salty in general.
Yeah, they're just salty little men.
All right, but I love them. I love all you guys.
And Dan's missing a little bit of his.
Oh, okay. We're closing out. We're closing out, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you again when the qualifiers for the SPL start.